I'm Mac McCarthy, and I help people with their breakups. And today I have another breakup story to share. And if you have a breakup story you want to share, please visit writemac.com and send your story in, and I could give you my take just like this for a small fee. If you'd like to book a live coaching session, that's also available. If you like this video, throw me a like. If you don't like it, that's fine. If you would like to subscribe to the channel, press that red button. Thank you for supporting the channel today. Okay, so let's get into it. Hi, Mac. I'm emailing all the way from Pakistan. Cool, man. I got a good friend from Pakistan. He actually told me, I was asking him, what about Pakistan don't I know that I'd be surprised? And he said it has excellent hiking and beautiful mountains, and they actually have snow in those mountains. So it's something I didn't really know. And I would really appreciate if you could help me out via email. I don't do email responses unless it's from after a live coaching session or after a paid service. So right now, I'm going to respond in this. And I'm going to ask you if you want to put it on YouTube. And this is part of my service. When you send a story in and you want just a quick email response, I really just don't have the time, and I prefer to talk. So this is what you're going to get. I think only you can advise me as of what kind of person I'm dealing with, as your YouTube videos have constantly broadened my perspective. Well, I like to compliment and thank you kindly. So there was this girl in the office, once upon a time. So there was a girl in the office with whom I had a crush on, but always maintained my professionalism. But when we would try to converse or socialize, but work always came in between. When you work with someone, it's a sticky line. There's a thin line between love and hate. There's a thin line between a good work relationship and a bad one. Then late March of last year, we started conversing more than when she shifted to the seat next to me and she started mentioning her personal life, her family, her situation, and all ex-boyfriend scenarios. And now she's aiming for settling down in marriage with a credible guy. So when she's telling you all this information, are you taking it in as a positive? Because when someone divulges that kind of information, you really get to know who they are and what they're about. And some people will say, oh, I don't want to hear about your ex-boyfriends. But it is a really big tell about how they are in a relationship, because the pattern that was ran in those ex-boyfriend situations is probably going to be run again. Okay. If she was needy or she was seeking a certain kind of guy over and over again, it's probably going to be rerun again. So it really serves you as some good intel moving forward with her. If you think, oh, our relationship will be different, probably not. So to me, it seemed like a subtle hint. So I asked her out, to which she said no comments. But after numerous holdups from one day, we did go out and then started going out more regularly almost every other day. Based on my likeness for her, I did confide in my fondness for her and did directly say to her, if we go somewhere with this, I'll probably propose to her. Wow, that's putting a lot of pressure on the situation immediately. To go from talking at work to dating to we just started dating, and if it goes well, I'll propose to you, because that's what you're looking for, or is that what you wanted to do? Because I know you mentioned earlier that she wants to marry a credible guy. I think it's moving really, really fast, and it puts a lot of strain on you building a connection early on and getting to know each other, because getting to know someone at work and getting to know someone intimately in a real relationship is different. To which she became more inquisitive and started asking me aggressive what I can offer her and teach her as a companion. Okay. How did you feel about her questioning you about that would be my question. I mean, did this feel right, or did it make you kind of squirm and go, wow, this is too much too quick? Then the shit test started happening, and she indulged me into her mind games. Then again, go back to her stories about her ex-boyfriends, and you said that with an S. How did she treat them? How did she talk about them? Okay, if she's always talking about her ex-boyfriends being bad in some way, that says something about her. People that are in bad relationships all the time have a role in that relationship. It's a reflection of them in relationships, really. Then one day she told me that she proposed to someone at work, but that guy didn't reciprocate her proposal, and there's a long-term relationship, this fellow, which I didn't buy it and shrugged it off as if she's not the type from the outlook, but I put it down to another test. If someone told me that they proposed to someone else at work, I would take that as a level of low interest in myself, or a game I'm just not going to fucking play. That would not be a game that I'm like, oh yeah, maybe you got another shit test from me. It'd be like, shit tests are over. That's ridiculous. I told her, maybe you see out your commitment. I don't know what you mean. I'll be back I'll back off, to which she didn't want me to quit, but she just wanted to let me know as she was out of the city and returning the following day as to avoid any work complications. This is a red flag, this whole situation. It might be 2 red flags. That night she made out with me, and then the following day she rejected me and said she felt no spark. Well, after making out with someone and kissing, that's a level that you can identify as a bad kiss, a bad situation, ill feelings afterwards. So it's completely possible this wasn't a shit test and you guys had a bad kiss and a bad connection in that moment. You have to accept that. Maybe you felt like, oh, that was great, and she felt like, no, that wasn't really that good. The next 3 days, I started avoiding her, ignored her while maintaining my cool with others at work, to which she cornered me and told me to stop avoiding her, and she hoped there were no hard feelings. Well, the fact that you were avoiding her was you guarding yourself, and you're at work. You don't want to deal with that in front of everyone. So you could have pulled her to the side and go, look, it didn't work out. I get it. I don't like the fact that, I thought we had a pretty good kiss and it didn't work out. But at work at this point, I do feel like, for me, I'm going to be a little cold for a little while till the smoke clears. I told her if it works, then we'll talk. Then eventually one day she again took me home, citing her grandma wants to see me, who became fond of me. And then she started making out, and I said I had changed my demeanor, and she feels body chemistry with me and finds me handsome. You're dealing with someone that's very wishy-washy, up and down, hot and cold, and it's probably not going away. I mean, this kind of behavior to start the relationship off it's not 1 red flag, it's 10. So next few days pretty much followed this pattern, but strangely she would spend more time in the office with that guy because he was part of our circle of friends, and I didn't want to get involved with the circle in order to avoid being friend-zoned. So if you're avoiding being in a circle of friends at work because you don't want to be friend zoned, this is going to affect your job. This is going to affect your social life, and it's not a good way to start the relationship. It's not a good boundary to set up. You're creating more difficult things going into a relationship that's really unsure. Then the following week, she started becoming distant and asked me not to kiss her or be physical with her because she has given me that she couldn't and didn't expect more to give, with a devious smirk. She's controlling the relationship right now. It's on her terms. It's what she wants. And she's catpawing you all the fuck around. And if you don't want to deal with that, you just need to cut it right now. Anytime that you take control of the situation, you go, okay, I'm not going to be around her, and she comes up to you and goes, wait a minute. Why haven't you been talking to me? She's just catpawing you. She's playing games with you. And this is a relationship I won't walk from. I'd run from it. She also asked for some space, and hence I reduced my interaction with her so I would not come across as clingy. But the bothersome part was that the other guy was being clingy and wouldn't even give her space, and she was okay with it. Translation: she likes attention. She would be actively try to make me jealous by being touchy with him in my space and leading him on. In fact, taking a lift to home with him every day she used to with me. Well, she's playing you guys off each other. This kind of act would last 2 seconds for me. I wouldn't even be involved in this game. Be done. Usually I give you a few different options. This is the kind of situation where you're talking about. Get out of this situation. This person is at the bottom of a well waiting to drop you in there, and there's no way out when you're playing this game. She's in full control, and I don't even think you like it. But when I wouldn't talk to her for a few days, would lose her cool and aggressively approach me to stop avoiding her. When I went back to normal with her, she would be all smiles and spend more time with me. Again, she's controlling the situation. She has you when she wants to, and she knows how to play you. So if you avoid her, she knows that she can just bully you pretty much at work, which is not comfortable, and get her way. I again confided how I viewed her, but she maintained she doesn't feel that emotional spark to pursue me, but was attentive to everything about me in general, which I put down to the fact that she's playing hard to get. No, I don't think she's playing hard to get. I think she's looking for as much attention as she can get, and she's being bratty in a lot of ways. And you work together. So if this relationship doesn't go smoothly in the beginning, it's probably not going to go smoothly in the middle or the end. And it's really going to affect your work more and more and more. If your job doesn't really matter to you that much, then seek another job, because seeing each other at work and dealing with this kind of shit is going to be a recipe for disaster. But her pattern of cutting me off from touching her, going out with her, and coming over to her place was baffling, because she wouldn't even reject my advancement directly, to which I thought maybe it's a test to see, do I still like her without physical intimacy? Again, you're reading too much into this. Is this a test you want to pass? Is this a game you want to play? I wouldn't want to. Then when she resigned, she was all emotional and admitted to us being in a tricky situation. We need to sit and talk, and she now wanted to maintain a personal relationship with me outside of work, which is difficult for her here because I was her boss. You didn't tell me that part till now. That makes things different. Being her boss at work makes a totally different situation. Strangely, she then said, it's better we both forget what happened and move on to a relationship of friends, to which I declined because she had a smirk on her face when she made the offer, and it felt like it was a test to see if I accept being friend zoned. Here we go again, that you're reading too much into these tests. Do you want to be tested in this way? Do you want to play this game that's her game in this way? Plus, she cited meeting someone new but wouldn't tell me his name, and when I asked her when did she meet up, she got her dates and times all confused because those days she was with me at work. I told her I viewed her differently than as a friend. She even called me a decent guy and a lover, not a fighter. I don't know if that's a compliment. She seems like a fighter. But on her last day, when I told her I will take her up on her offer and pursue it, she changed her statement and said she just wants a personal relationship of being just friends and only friends. All right, this is your final clarity. This is your final shit test, if you will. She's playing games with you. She's cat-pawing the fuck out of you. And you need to get your balls back and just go, you know what? We can be acquaintances. You know, if we work together, that's fine. We're working partners. We have a working relationship. You don't want to be friends, then don't be friends. And she's played this pattern on you multiple times. And she's not interested in a long-term relationship. She's interested in having you when she wants. And when you're not available, she likes to stroke her ego by getting you back and putting you back in check every time. To which I declined again and said, we meet, we will discuss this, where the relationship is heading. But I told her I'm not getting friend zoned and becoming one of the backup options. Who do her bidding like the guy at work? To which she was surprised to see my confident response and how I didn't consider him a competition, but just as a guy who was her friend. Well, who are you to her, really? The same thing. She then said she didn't mean friendship in friend zone sense, but agreed to the overdue talk. When she was leaving, she asked me to move to her place and left everything behind, and it's still like she left. She even gave me her work notebook, which oddly had her plans dotted down for after resignation. This is strange. I took it as a hint that she wants me to know and pursue her. You're constantly examining her actions as a shit test or ways that she's trying to get your attention. But at what point are you guys just going to be together, having a good connection, having fun, having a good time? This is constant drama. And it's drama where she's the director. Do you want to be in this play? She even cited she trusted me with her personal stuff. So the following weekend, I was waiting for her call to meet up, as she had promised to do so, but then I ended up messaging her, to which she declined and said she's busy with stuff in party mode with friends, but will let me know when she's available to talk. Again, she's controlling the relationship. You're a puppet on the string for her. It kind of irked me, and I stopped contacting her, thinking she would probably contact me because I'm always the one initiating contact, and she keeps on shelving them because she knew somewhat what I wanted to speak to her regarding progressing in a relationship. But it felt like she was avoiding the talk. My friends told me to cease contact and she'll come around. Come around to what? The only time she comes around is for like 48 hours, 1 day, 2 days, and then she goes back. This is a pattern she's running on you. She has pretty much not contacted me. I haven't messaged her either, but just recently I was told by a coworker that she had seen her with some guy late night more than 2 or 3 times driving in the car. Some guy told me about who was her neighbor, and her grandma was fond of me. Maybe he's the guy she's referring to. You don't want to know this stuff. This is weak of you. Plus, if it's him, then it's also part of her friend circle. How is this serving you? But after a couple of weeks, she dropped into my office citing she's here for her clearance, which she didn't do, and she sat next to me and started showing me diamond rings on her phone and subliminally telling me her ring size and how she was traveling to London the following week. I took it as a hint maybe she wants me to offer a tangible commitment to her. What do you want? Jeez. Thus time, though, I was assertive, and I told her we had to meet before she traveled, and she said she'd call me over the weekend. And she did, to further annoy me when I got there, and told me she was going out in 10 minutes with that office dude to buy suitcases. I offered her to take her myself and talk on the way as well. She declined and said she's not changing her plans for me. But nonetheless, we eventually did sit down for our conversation. Ironically, that guy never called or showed up. We had a long conversation for hours where I proposed to her. I would not propose to an individual that has treated you in this way. This is not good. Her grandma also wanted me to propose to her. The idea that her grandma likes you and wanted this has nothing to do with your relationship. It's a plus, but hanging on to that is not going to carry you through a good relationship. You have to have a good connection. You have to have trust, which I don't think you really trust her, nor does she trust her own feelings. She keeps changing her mind. And you have to have a high level of attraction. I don't even know if that's there right now because she's seeing other guys and flirting with other guys. She got all emotional and even tried to ring the ring on and then rejected me again, offered me friendship. Clarity, done. Done, done. You've taken it to one step further, and now she's rejected the ring after saying she wants one. You're done, which I declined and said she confused now, and I won't pursue her. But though she didn't return me the ring and hasn't yet to this day, that says a lot about her as an individual, that she's willing to take a ring but not take marriage. That's clarity 101. Be done with this individual. If you want the ring back, make a police report, do whatever, or let her have it and treat it as a lesson. So after seizing all contact, I just started focusing on myself and work. She started posting love-lorn messages on her Facebook of how broken hearts are never healed and true love doesn't. This woman's playing you. If she kept the ring, she's playing you. I presume that she wants me to chase and validate her ego as I kept to no contact. Then a month, I would highly recommend a live coaching session. Then a month later, she sent me a private story message on Instagram, which I didn't review at all because I wanted her to be direct with me rather than do all these indirect approaches. She's going to do what she wants to do, and she's going to continue to do what she wants to do with her smirk and her actions. She's running the show on you, and the fact that she kept a ring after you proposed says a lot about her individual character, and that's not good. But after a couple of weeks, she deleted her Facebook, LinkedIn accounts, and blocked me from her Instagram account. I viewed it as a sign she's cracking because I didn't react to the way she wanted me to. I don't view it that way at all. I think you should, again, don't walk away from this individual, run. But strangely, her close friends started adding me on Instagram and stalking me on Facebook. What does that mean? I didn't react to any of it, and a couple weeks later, her bestie removed her Instagram, which was okay because I never followed her in the first place. Though when she did do this, she posted a video of her friend and a party doing kissing gesture on the camera, dancing and wearing the ring I gave her. Wow. So you gave her the ring, but she has no... This is ridiculous. I assume this deletion was to get my reaction and get my... You're doing a lot of assuming that favors your narrative. Stop doing it. This is not a good individual to have a long-term relationship with. So, Mac, my question is, should I be contacting her or no? No contact. You shouldn't have a relationship with this individual. You shouldn't move forward. I rarely say that. This is an individual that's poison or waited out. You shouldn't be waiting for anything. You've been waiting for a long time. You've made an attempt, and every time she goes, oh, no, the door's not open. I'm actually closing it with that little smirk. How does that make you feel? You're running uphill with no goal in mind. She took a ring after you. This is just, it's ridiculous because I think the distance gap being created will make her lose interest and move on. I don't know if she ever had interest in the level that you had. Because there is no communication effort on my end for almost 7 or 8 months. Do you think these are all signs she has interest in me and she's misguided by her friends for being stubborn, for an ego trip, or does she just want to upset me and humiliate me further if I reach out? I don't know exactly what she's doing, but the fact that you feel like she's humiliated you in the past with the ring, that would be enough to never talk to her again in my book. That would be enough to judge her character in my book and say this isn't an individual I want to be with long term. The idea that is she being stubborn or is she on an ego trip? She's been on an ego trip. It's been all about her for a long time. So what do you think I should do? Move on, move forward, and don't look back on this one. You're actually lucky that you didn't get married to her, because this would be nothing but problems. This is a narcissistic individual that everything's about her. She doesn't even have a high regard for hurting you. Or should I just return the favor and block her on one line of open communication left WhatsApp? How can I come out on top and make her realize she's losing out on a good person? Move forward. Don't contact her. And I would take it a step further. Start dating other women. So I hope that helps you. Please visit rightmac.com if you have a breakup story you want to share, or if you'd like to book a live coaching session. Thank you for supporting the channel.